Are you worried that a robot or an application could one day perform your job with greater efficiency and for a fraction of the cost? This question hovers over classrooms, boardrooms, and dinner tables. And, it casts a long shadow of uncertainty across our collective future. What if the key to securing your professional relevance is not to engage in a futile race against artificial intelligence? What if, instead, the most strategic path forward is to cultivate the profound abilities that are uniquely and irrevocably human? As we stand on the precipice of a technological revolution, this is not just a theoretical question. It is the most urgent inquiry for any student or professional planning for a durable and meaningful career in the decades to come. Many people today feel a palpable sense of anxiety, and it is entirely understandable. The pace of technological advancement is staggering. Machines are learning at an exponential rate, demonstrating capabilities that were once the exclusive domain of science fiction. But this transformation does not signal the obsolescence of human contribution. It signals a shift in its nature. We will focus on two foundational sets of human skills that machines, for all their computational power, cannot authentically replicate: the potent combination of critical thinking and complex problem solving, and the deeply nuanced realm of emotional intelligence and its manifestation in strong interpersonal skills. To understand our unique human advantage, we must first be clear-eyed about the inherent limitations of artificial intelligence. AI operates on a foundation of data and algorithms. It is a masterful apprentice, capable of learning from a vast library of past examples to recognize patterns and predict outcomes within defined parameters. If a task can be broken down into logical steps, and there is a massive dataset of previous instances, an AI can be trained to perform it with superhuman speed and accuracy. This is why AI excels at things like language translation, image recognition, routing logistics for a delivery company. The core limitation becomes clear when the machine meets true novelty. AI struggles when a problem lacks precedent, when context is ambiguous, or when the rules suddenly change. It cannot reason from first principles in a brand new domain. An AI can be programmed with ethical rules, but it cannot truly grapple with a moral dilemma where two principles conflict. It can analyze the sentiment of a million reviews, but it cannot sit with one frustrated customer and read the unspoken nuance, then invent a creative one-time solution that restores trust. Consider calculation versus judgment. An AI calculates the statistically probable outcome from its data. A human exercises judgment. This involves integrating disparate inputs: quantitative data, qualitative observations, personal experience, cultural context, intuitive feelings, or a gut sense. A human leader might defy statistics because they sense a subtle shift in team morale or spot a nascent market trend not yet in any data set. So humans versus machines is the wrong story. The accurate framing is strategic partnership. As machines take over the rote, the repetitive, the predictable, they free human cognitive and emotional resources to focus on abilities like navigating ambiguity, solving novel problems, leading with empathy, forging genuine connections. What precisely do we mean by critical thinking? At its core, critical thinking is the disciplined art of clear and rational thought. It is the ability to not just absorb information, but to actively and skillfully conceptualize, apply, analyze, synthesize, evaluate. It means asking incisive questions rather than passively accepting what you are told. It involves meticulously verifying the source and validity of a fact, identifying underlying assumptions, recognizing logical fallacies. A critical thinker can discern what is relevant from what is trivial, recognize gaps in their own knowledge, and systematically organize disparate ideas into a coherent, logical framework. This skill is the essential prerequisite for its dynamic partner, complex problem solving. Critical thinking analyzes components. Complex problem solving synthesizes a novel path forward. It is required when a challenge is ill-defined, multifaceted, and lacks a clear, pre-existing solution. Doctors diagnosing baffling symptoms, engineers designing sustainable water systems for remote communities, managers juggling interpersonal conflicts, budget shortfalls, and shifting market demands. These are not problems you can simply Google. AI operates as high-speed information retrieval and pattern matching, not true critical reasoning. An AI can process a library of legal precedents in seconds, but it cannot formulate a novel legal argument for a brand new ethical tech question. It can analyze financial data and flag anomalies, but it cannot devise a creative, multi-year strategy to pivot a failing company. AI is constrained by the data it was trained on and by the rules it was given. It can tell you what worked in the past, but it cannot invent a solution for a future it has never seen. This is where the human mind shines. We can think abstractly, use analogies, consider ethical implications, and apply judgment shaped by lived experience. We can weigh competing values, short-term profit, long-term brand reputation. We can use our gut feeling to guide us when data is incomplete or contradictory. AI can provide raw materials for a decision, but the human mind is the architect that designs the final structure, making sense of chaos and charting a course through the unknown. The true power of human critical thinking is most evident when we are faced with unstructured real-world problems. A machine functions best within a closed system where the rules are known and the variables are quantifiable. The human world, however, is an open system, messy and gloriously unpredictable. Consider a city planner tasked with reducing traffic congestion. An AI could optimize traffic light timings or add a new lane. A human planner starts by asking why. Employment patterns, inadequate transit, inconvenience, safety, cultural status of cars. This process of deconstruction, breaking a large, vague problem into smaller questions, moves beyond treating the symptom to diagnosing social, economic, and infrastructural causes. In business, AI reports sales down 15% in the Northeast among a specific demographic. A human leader hypothesizes a new competitor, cultural missteps, or product changes, and designs experiments, focus groups, targeted pilots. Questioning, hypothesizing, testing, learning, it requires creativity, intuition, and connecting seemingly unrelated dots. An AI can optimize a known process, but it cannot invent a new one from scratch to solve a problem it has never encountered. This is our strategic advantage. We are not just problem solvers, we are problem framers and solution inventors. Section 5. How to build your critical thinking muscle. A practical guide. Critical thinking is not an innate talent. It is a skill you can develop through deliberate practice, a mental muscle that grows stronger with consistent exercise. For students who want to future-proof their careers, these practices are high-return investments. Move beyond passive consumption. Engage in active, structured thinking regularly. Here are 4 concrete steps you can start immediately. First, ask why, relentlessly. Do not accept information at face value. When you read an article, ask, what is the author's primary argument? What evidence do they provide? What are their underlying assumptions? What alternative explanations might exist? Ask why at least 3 times to get to the root. Second, expose yourself to diverse, conflicting viewpoints. If you lean left, read a thoughtful right-leaning publication. If you lean right, read a thoughtful left-leaning publication. Your goal, understand their argument structure, not be converted. What do they value? What evidence do they prioritize? Engaging opposing views clarifies and strengthens your positions. This builds mental flexibility and prevents dogma. Third, seek case studies and real-world puzzles, business cases, historical strategic dilemmas, ethical puzzles. Work through them with peers, debate and synthesize solutions. Teachers can frame lessons around real-world problems. Fourth, practice organized creative thinking to connect ideas. Use mind mapping. Start with a central question. Branch into related ideas. Branch into questions. Branch into potential solutions. Practice writing to structure your thoughts. Do these things consistently, and you'll transform how you think. Section 6. Human Super Skill. Number 2. Emotional intelligence. While critical thinking governs our interaction with ideas and problems, our second human superpower governs our interaction with people. This is the domain of emotional intelligence, EQ. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, express emotions, and handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. It is a multifaceted skill made of key components. Self-awareness. Recognize your feelings as they happen. Understand why you're feeling that way. It's the foundation for other emotional skills. Social awareness, primarily empathy. Sense and understand emotions of others, even when unstated. Read subtle cues, tone of voice, body language, facial expressions. Self-management. Control impulsive feelings and behaviors. Manage emotions in healthy ways. Take initiative. Adapt to change. A person with high self-management pauses instead of lashing out. Relationship management, where EQ shows up most. Develop and maintain good relationships. Communicate clearly. Inspire and influence others. Work well in teams. Manage conflict. A leader with high EQ creates psychological safety and shared purpose. A salesperson with high EQ builds long-term trust by genuinely listening. EQ is the glue for effective teams, organizations, and communities. In an age of digital communication and remote work, these skills are more critical than ever. Technology can facilitate connection, but it cannot create it. Artificial intelligence can be programmed to simulate empathy. A chatbot can be coded to respond to keywords like sad or frustrated with phrases like, "I'm sorry to hear that. How can I help?" It can even be trained on millions of human conversations to mimic supportive dialogue. However, this is merely a sophisticated form of mimicry, a reflection without a source. A machine does not and cannot feel. It does not possess lived experience. It has never felt the sting of disappointment, the warmth of belonging, the quiet pride of overcoming a personal struggle. This distinction between simulated empathy and genuine human connection is not trivial. It has profound practical implications in the world of work. A teacher does more than transmit information. They notice the flicker of confusion in a shy student's eyes and find a different way to explain. They sense pre-exam anxiety and offer reassurance. They see a unique spark and give encouragement that can change a trajectory. A therapist builds a safe, non-judgmental space. A diplomat understands deep-seated cultural fears and national pride. A great manager notices burnout and intervenes to protect well-being. These actions build loyalty, foster collaboration, and solve problems beyond transactional approaches. An AI might identify a potential tumor with incredible accuracy, providing a vital diagnostic tool. The AI provides the data, the human provides the care. Like critical thinking, emotional intelligence is not a fixed trait. It is a set of skills that can be learned, practiced, and mastered over time. The payoff is immense, impacting not only your professional opportunities, but the quality of all your personal relationships. Here are 5 practical, straightforward steps. First, practice the discipline of active listening. Don't formulate your reply while they speak. Commit your full attention. Listen not just to their words, but to the tone, pace, and emotion behind the words. When they finish, try to summarize. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're feeling frustrated because this validates their experience. Second, become a student of nonverbal communication. Notice facial expressions, posture, hand gestures, and eye contact, like slumped shoulders on hard tasks or eyes lighting up at a passion project. Third, engage in low-stakes role-playing with someone you trust. Practice constructive feedback or de-escalation. It's a flight simulator for social skills. Fourth, embrace group projects as an EQ gym. Notice dynamics. Who dominates? Who hesitates? Facilitate contributions, give sincere praise, and aim for collaborative solutions. Finally, dedicate a few minutes each day to emotional reflection. Keep a one-line-a-day journal. I felt anxious about the deadline, or I felt proud helping a friend. Naming emotions and triggers builds profound self-awareness. This simple habit helps you understand patterns and manage them more effectively over time. Small, consistent steps are the architects of profound and lasting change. The most productive way to view the future of work is not as a competition between humans and AI, but as a collaboration. The most effective, the most valuable, the most successful professionals of tomorrow will master this partnership. They will leverage AI's computational power to augment, not replace, their uniquely human skills, freeing our minds for higher strategic work. Imagine a marketing strategist using AI to analyze terabytes of consumer data, identifying emerging trends and audience segments. The AI presents patterns. The human asks the right questions, crafts the story, and devises a campaign no algorithm could invent alone. The AI provides the what, the human provides the so what, and the what if. In medicine, AI pre-screens images, flags anomalies, saves hours, and reduces fatigue. Doctors focus on judgment and then communicate with empathy and care. AI optimizes diagnostics. Humans deliver judgment and compassion, central to healing. Educators and parents play a vital role. Shift education from rote memorization to cultivating process-oriented skills. Design experiences that make students wrestle with complex, no single-answer problems. Create opportunities for teamwork, debate, and project-based learning where students negotiate, collaborate, and lead. Praise a student's questions as much as correct answers. Celebrate effort and resilience even if the first attempt fails. This builds the mental and emotional fortitude required for a human-AI world. The narrative of fear surrounding artificial intelligence is compelling, but it is ultimately incomplete. It overlooks the profound and enduring power that resides within us. While machines become ever more adept at tasks of calculation, repetition, we possess superpowers they cannot replicate. The creative fire of our minds, the deep well of empathy in our hearts. Your mind, trained in the art of critical thinking, can navigate ambiguity, deconstruct novel problems, synthesize creative solutions where no template exists. Your heart, cultivated in emotional intelligence, can build trust, inspire teams, connect with others on a level of genuine understanding that no algorithm can ever truly simulate. The path forward is clear. It is not about outcompeting machines at their own game of speed, data processing. It is about doubling down on our humanity, insight, judgment, creativity, connection. The best workers of the future will master this synergy, blending analytical power with wisdom and compassion. The responsibility for cultivating these skills rests with each of us. Teachers, parents, you are the architects of this future. Guide students toward challenges that demand critical thought and collaborative spirit. Create environments where asking why is encouraged, where perspectives are explored, where emotional literacy is taught. The job market of tomorrow will not reward human calculators. It will reward human leaders, innovators, caregivers. So, do not fear the future. Prepare for it. Your human intelligence and your emotional depth are not liabilities in a technological age. They are your ultimate competitive advantage. Start today. Choose just one small, practical habit from the lists we have discussed. Practice it for a week. See how it feels. Share your journey with a friend and encourage them to join you. Small, consistent steps are the architects of profound and lasting change. Which AI-proof skill do you think is most important for the future? Tell us in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more insights. The choice is yours, and the moment is now.